The very first time that I had any kind of an inkling about priesthood, I was probably like a freshman in high school.
I think it happened when I was around the first or second grade. There was this priest that had just come in to take over the parish as the new pastor, and he just changed everything. I mean, was moving the statues, and I was so attached to my church that I didn't like the changes, and I felt the only way to change it back was to become a priest.
Growing up, I wanted to be a music teacher, and I wanted to be a band director is what I wanted to do. My fifth grade music teacher was Leona Hill. She was the director of religious education in the parish, and she was my fifth grade teacher in public school. When I became a freshman, she asked me to teach third grade, so it's sacramental prep. At the end of my freshman year, Father Matthew, the pastor, called me into the office. He says, "Have you ever thought about being a priest?" And I said, "No, Father." I said, being a priest, I'm not real sure that I'm really cut out for that.
They did a roll call saying, if you want to be an altar server, this is the time to sign up. I signed up and ended up doing it for well over 20 years. Whenever I was not serving at the altar and I'd be sitting out in the congregation, I realized I was on the wrong side of the altar. I realized that I had a longing for being up here at the sanctuary.
I wound up applying to A&M Kingsville and studied music education at A&M Kingsville. And I did that for a few years, and then went to work for Whataburger. And so working at Whataburger, I climbed the ladder real fast and started managing my own restaurant. Did that for a good while. So I worked for the company for almost 9 years. It just comes a time when money and all the different benefits that they had to offer just wasn't good enough.
I was thinking about the diaconate, the permanent diaconate. I thought I could have everything. I could be married. I could actually still celebrate, help celebrate with Mass. I could just, get to do everything, because I didn't think that I was actually worthy to be a priest. I didn't think that I had it in me to be a seminarian. I felt I was too old.
I told my boss, I said, "Look, I'm going to be 30 years old, and I'm asking people if they want cheese on their burger and ketchup with their fries, and that's not who God created me to be." At the end of the year, I turned in my keys and I said, "I'm done." And so I took some time off. I took a year off and really thought about where God wanted me. By that time, I'd switched parishes, and Father John, my pastor, kind of brought that up again and said, "Look, why don't you think about priesthood?" I said, "Father, it's been a long time, and I'm not really sure that God is calling me, but I'll fill out the application, I'll give it a semester so we can say that we did this for a semester." And 7 years later, here I am.
While I was thinking about it, I went out on kind of like a date one night with my friend, and we ended up getting seated at a table that was filled with priests. And I ended up ignoring her and talking to the priest about vocation the entire night. And I decided that I needed to really look into this. I went home, and my mother was downstairs watching television, and I asked if I could talk to her. So she turns the television down for a minute, and I told her, "Mom, I think God is calling me to be a Catholic priest. I have started the paperwork for about a week now with the diocese, and I'm applying to become a seminarian." Without missing a beat, my mom said, "It's about time."